here before today. I knew roughly where it was, but Joe just gave me like a compass or something, or told me roughly where it was and I had to find the place. It'd be super friggin' hard doing it on my own, turning it in the streets, right? But I plug it into my GPS and it says turn right, turn left. That thing on the board is your turn right, turn left. It's been done a zillion times by other copywriters for you. You turn left for 15 pages. You go straight for one page. You go right for another. If you get this into your head right away, I remember when Joe started teaching templating like this and then copywriting, which you guys are going to learn later, which is just going to blow your mind if you're into this stuff. It was like a beautiful mind for me. Literally, I started seeing the whole world in templates. Like everything out there really is templatable. But if you just, it breaks down the walls once you realize templating works, it's real, and it's a secret weapon. So learn this stuff.
And I'm giving you sentences that you can use to transition into each one of these too. When you start to see this, you're going to see those sentences written time and time and time again in promos. So there'll be variations of those sentences. They won't be the same word, but you can see the persuasion that the writer is doing in that same sentence that you're going to recognize how they're transitioning in and out of an idea that feels cool to the reader. Did you have a question? Did I see that, Ian? Somebody have a question?
I was just going to ask if you go through those transition statements again.
Yep.
Just real quick.
Yep, I'm doing really, really quick. 15 pages on secret number 1. Transition sentence is that I've wrapped up everything you need to know about the secret, how to make money, how much money you can expect to make, and when you can expect to make it in a free special report called my free special report number 1, which you can have for free when you act today. That's your transitionary sentence. Then, subhead, by the way, is my name, by the way, is Joe Schriever. That's your subhead to get into that next section. Then, page and a half, right? Okay, so next transition after your page and a half of who you are, it's like, hey, as great as that secret number 1 is, that's not my only secret. In fact, I've got another secret I'm equally excited about. Let me show you that secret now. That transition gets you into secret 2. Getting out of secret 2, you say, secret 2 is free too. It's going to come along with secret 1. Now at this point, you're probably wondering, is a subscription right for me? Let me tell you a little bit more so you can decide. That's your transition into your track record testimonials. We're going to tell them more about the subscription to see if it's right for them. Transition into the third secret is still not all. I've got one final bonus report to show you today. Something you're going to love. That gets you into secret 3. Transition out of secret 3 into your close and price justification is, so how do you claim all this today? Let me show you right now. Then you get into the end, the close, the big push with a sale. Let me show you guys one other thing, and I'm not going to spend as much time on this, but I told you guys that there's probably 6 templates, right? And Ryan's given you the most basic one, which is the one that all of these are going to follow, which is the beginning, middle, end. I gave you a little bit more advanced one, which is the secret, and now I'm going to give you another one, which is the prediction. This is the End of America template. If you guys don't know End of America, it's going to be at some point coming up in your reading list. It's the most successful single front-end promotion in Agora history. And by Agora history, I mean in direct response history in which we operate. This is the promotional template for End of America. So I'm giving that to you guys, and I'm going to walk you through it in 30 seconds. Again, this is a prediction. Predictions are different than secrets, right? So that means that they have, thank you, that means that they have a different template. So again, assume End of America is 30 pages. It's a big prediction that the United States dollar will cease to exist as the world reserve currency, and what that's going to mean for you and why you need to act to protect yourself against this devastating event. That's the idea behind End of America. If you look at it again, let's assume it's 30 pages. This has a radically different template. Predictions have radically different templates than secrets. They still have a beginning, middle, and end, but they're organized differently. The copywriter there started off with who are you? They started off with who are you? Because the prediction seems so goddamn crazy that unless you introduced who you are and established credibility, that no one would believe the prediction that was about to come. So you'll see a lot of these start with who are you, which is different than the secret, right? Because secret didn't come with who you are until page 15. Okay, 20 pages on the lead prediction. Telling them how it's going to change their life, giving them all the proof, starting to push them. Then it goes into a transitional sentence that will transition into the 5 or 6 or 4 steps that you need to take to protect yourself from this prediction. So if you believe these first 20 pages, the whole persuasive nature of these first 20 pages are convincing you that that prediction is going to come true. At the point that you're convinced, you transition into the steps that you need to do to protect yourself. That transitional sentence typically goes like this. Now, as bad as this situation is, I don't mean to alarm you. There's actually 4 things that you could do to protect yourself, things that I'm personally doing with my own money to protect me and my family, and I'm going to show you those 4 things right now. That's the transition in a prediction template. Then you spend 3 pages on step 1. Maybe that's buying gold in a new, interesting way. 2 pages on step 2. 1 page on step 3. A half a page on step 4. How do you claim all of these steps? Well, I just wrapped it up into a free special report that you can have with the subscription today. Then your newsletter intro. Then your close and price justification. So that's a wholly different thing, right? You're spending less and less time to increase the pacing of the promotion on the secrets. That gets back to something that you were saying, I think, Sean, about the pacing of the promotions, right? Like sometimes they feel like they're easy to read and fast. If you go backwards in this order, if you spend 3 pages here, 8 pages here, 10 pages here, 15 pages here, now you're creating desire for something where the reader might get frustrated because they just want the damn things. And you're spending too long to get there. So you start and your pacing increases by going 3 pages, 2 pages, 1 page, half a page. So you organize your steps of what they should do in whatever the most persuasive, amazing step is. That's the step number 1, is you're going to write the most about that, and then you make the pacing seem fast by decreasing the length of each one of these steps. Because at that point, you're just increasing desire more that you can spend less time on the steps persuasively. And then you get in your close and price justification. So this is the end of America template. So if you guys write a prediction, put it in that template. Don't put your prediction in your secret template because it's not going to work the same because you may not have 3 predictions. Does that make sense? Like if you think that the end of the world is going to come because the dollar is going to cease to exist as a world reserve currency, how can you possibly say there's a 2nd or 3rd prediction? You can't. So that's got a different template. And again, there's probably only 6 of these things based on the 6 lead types. Sorry.
Could you come up off the top of your head with a positive prediction? So instead of saying, if this
Absolutely.
sounds bad, how do you protect yourself? This sounds great.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, you could say Bitcoin 1 million, right, which is what James Altucher is trying to do right now. You could say Dow 50,000. So absolutely, I mean, predictions don't have to be.
How would those 4 steps transform?
They really wouldn't, right? So if you spend
4 ways to take advantage of it.
exactly, so you're just flipping it. So instead of protection steps, you're flipping it into make a whole lot of money steps. So if you spent 20 pages convincing people that Bitcoin was going to hit $1 million, and if that was a true prediction that someone believed in, and you've convinced somebody at the end of 20 pages, show them 5 different ways to make a fortune when Bitcoin goes to $1 million. You know, so yeah, sure, you could buy Bitcoin and you'll do great. But did you know there's a little known secret that can make you 10 times your money, 10 times more money than Bitcoin? And I call it the Bitcoin 10x project. That's my secret number 1. But did you also know that buying blockchain companies could be a way to make 5x the Bitcoin returns? That's secret number 2, right? So same prediction can be in there. It doesn't have to be a doomsday prediction. It can be a boom, a bull prediction. You're just going to rearrange your steps to be money-making steps versus asset protection steps. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So again, you can see same template, 2 radically different ideas. The United States dollar is going to lose its status as a world reserve currency. Dow is going to go to 50,000. They can both be in the same template. They're totally different ideas, and the reader's not going to see it because the reader is reading passively. You're going to see it because you're reading actively. Yes, sir.
When you're mapping out like the head section, the lead section of the 20 pages for that, how do you actually map out the guts of that?
We'll get into that in copyboarding later.
Okay.
Yep. So save that for
Yeah,
maybe 2, 3. No. Yeah, probably 2.5 weeks.
Joe was kind of showing the focus. The lead is still going to be to the first subhead,
Right.
in there.
Right.
And then the middle part of it, yeah, we're going to
I mean,
pick
when I
up.
typically do one, I like outline it like 3 or 4 bullet points and just throw this on top of it.
Yep. That's generally it. But yeah, we'll cover it all in
Okay,
copyboarding.
okay.
Yep.
So, from now on, start printing out your promotion of a day and writing it out and trying to use the extraction technique as much as possible to start identifying some of these templates. If you look here, actually, like, this is the mains income one we were talking about before. That fits up exactly to the secret template. That's a secret type template. Next week, I want you to read this book. If you've read it before, maybe you have, read it again. It's real short. It's like 35 pages.
Shorter than a promo.
Shorter than promo. But we're going to be talking about next week on Monday on the technique for creating ideas and how you can actually start different ways you can start to inventing the big idea yourself.
Questions, comments for next week? Sure.
How do I get your swipe file and how do I get the infographic?
Just when I get back to the office, just come bug me.
Cool.
Yep, and I'll
I can do that.
you know, you guys are gonna quickly find this out about me if you haven't already. It's as soon as you leave my site, I will not do anything I promised you. So you have to stay in my site until I do what I promised you. Not that I want to be that way, it's just that's how I am.
Okay, who learned something today?
The method of actually analyzing a promo. I know for me, I've been wondering this for a while. You know, when I read a promo, I'm just looking at, okay, what's in it for me? Is it intriguing? But I had like this two-dimensional way of looking at it. I didn't quite know how to ask for help. You know, like what am I really supposed to be looking for? But the way that you dissected it, looking for entire templates, it sort of brought me to like a third-dimensional way of understanding it. Now, speaking of which, actually, speaking of the swipe file, once to get back to this, with this whole, you have swipe file, you know, you use the structure, and, you know, I was thinking about, like, these blueprint structures that they have, and it just got me thinking, like, at what point, because when you read it, it really is, like, 95% the same, but in a way, isn't that kind of, like, plagiarism?
In that case, it's us plagiarizing ourselves, a lot of those same ones, and that's okay because we own the intellectual property for it. The danger if you do it that close on that particular format is it's probably going to wear out a lot quicker.
Right, okay.
Meaning, like, it's just going to become less and less effective. That's one way you can do it if you have permission from